Okay, we are live. Um, Hi guys, welcome to this Cat 125 days journey. Well, this is not the video, and I'm just doing this live again. Tomorrow's live was a bit disastrous, and I was not, I didn't know that this could be when so disastrous. There were so many problems when it was my first time streaming the previous one, so there were so many errors in that. The webcam went out, my screen was fluctuating, the net was dropping. So, yeah. So, welcome to the stream. Just checking that everything is working fine or not. Then we can start with that. Okay, the voice is coming fine and everything is looking so far so good. And let's hope this session goes well. So, for people who don't know and who haven't read the title screen, the video title, the live title, that I'm going to share my cat experience live in this session, and I'm going to do my slot. I did slot 2 in cat, and for Zat has only one slot, and yeah, everything and everyone knows about that slot. So, well, we did two sets tomorrow from RC, VARC, and those two sets were from Spice Trade and Carnivore in human interaction. And I don't know how many of you were present in that session. So before starting this video, what we are going to do is I'm just switch back to this, and this is I was watching this podcast by your truly's truly Maruti sir. Like everyone fears him, and everyone have a fear that if he comes in your slot, your raw sport could go nuts. So yeah, I was just watching him, and it was fun while he was making some valid points in this podcast. So well, anyways, let's get back to his side, and let's do article first. And today, I think I've done enough of philosophy, history, and politics. I'm just gonna pick this economics, and this is a short 10 minutes. I don't want to, you know, bore you guys for 25 to 10, 25 minutes. So yeah, what we will do is that, can I add the text? We will read this. You read your own. Okay. As I've mentioned that we will read this on your own. Uh, 1 minute. Just a small correction. Read this on your own. I'll be silent for 10 minutes. I'll read myself. You can read as well. And then we will later discuss it. So let's start. The article is from the Harvard Business Review, and it's about the industrial era ended and so will the digital era. So with the title, I can say that we are going to discuss about the industrial era and the digital era. So let's start with the review. and I'll meet you in 10 minutes. So we are done, and this was an amazing article. So, for you who just started this live stream, I'm gonna tell you this again that this is a article from the Harvard Business Review, and this article focuses on the how uh, digital era is about to end. First, starts about with the industrial era. How was industrial era? How those new things in industrial era were looking good at that time, and there were some examples of Benjamin Braddock, Braddock, sorry. So the thing was that when something is new in the era, it appeals to everyone, and everyone is excited about it. And then when the thing starts to be incorporated into our daily life, first have to be go to three stages. That first have to have to be innovated, then it has to be utilized, and then it has to be transformed. So we have got some examples of Edison and I believe that it was who was it? Faraday. So we had examples of these two, and then how transformation works. So like electricity just didn't started it in electricity came in 1860s, and it was commercialized in 1920. So it took around years for things to get transformed to able to handle electricity. So yeah, the whole idea was that, and then the start of digital age. How is digital age ending? They give three reasons for that. Why is it ending? And then he gave that something which to material genome initiative, where the computer and the digital age can able to adapt with the changes and then work with it. And yeah, this was it, pretty much it for the crux of this passage. So yeah, this was the passage, and yeah. Mm, well, this was the article. This is the link. If you want, you can just go to cracku site, can read this and tell me how was it. So um, well, let's get back to a main agenda of this live stream. uh, For those who were not available in this previous live stream, I discussed VARC two sets, which I gave in the cat. First one was I have to check if I haven't put that pages. I really hope that I didn't through that pages down back out. Yeah, and then I have these pages. Thank God I didn't through that. Okay, this is it. Can I check? This is an article. This is an RC. Too many pages, too many articles. Well, never mind. Yeah, here it is. So we discussed two passages, and those were the two passages I gave in the cat 24 slot 2. For people who don't know, my slot was 2 in cat, and the sat, all the slots are same, so it doesn't matter. I first discussed this passage, and I'm just going to quickly go through it and just tell who were not present tomorrow. So this is one another article which I gave. Can I do this? Yeah, I can. So this is one article which was my attempt. My attempt. I'm just using my attempt as a short form. Initialized MA. My attempt. So this was my attempt. Um, this was my attempt, and at last this was my attempt. These were the three attempts I gave in the cat, and we are going to first discuss with the last one. and what was it about. So I've already have the answers. I'm just going to read this and just tell you what the article was about. If no one has done, if we haven't done this article, you can just pause this live and just read it. I'll scroll this half for a few seconds and then scroll this half for a few seconds. You can read it and then I'll discuss with the questions. Okay, let's go. And for someone who has already done this article, I'm just going to give you a small crux. And if you can just type that as well. Hi Sunidhi, I think I'm not conducting streams daily. I'm just it's a continuation. Uh, the previous I did a previous live stream yesterday, but I had few trouble while doing the live stream. So I wanted to discuss what I gave in my cat slot 24 slot 2. So for that I just did this today, and this is a weekly thing, Sunday special. But there was some problems and I was not able to do it on Sundays and Monday. So I'm just doing it today, and I'll do that tomorrow. Well, thank you so much for coming, Sunidhi, and let's continue. Yeah, for the people who are not present, I'm just going to give you a crux of it. Who have already given this and reading this, I'm just going to do a crux of it. So the whole passage was about why is there an increase in carnivore animal and human interaction? Why is there such increase? So the first reason which was initially given was that they were natural evolution based conflicts naturally, which happened naturally, which is because when they were trying to protect their cub or they were looking in for some food. But this was weak, so mm, it's a weak statement. It is just a idea of the author. Next is carnivore that recognize a means for food, like they give a significant reason why this happened in this para, which was because they are dependent on humans for food. Because of that, the human and carnivore animal conflicts increase. And after that, here he gives a human error, like if people would try to take pictures in a feeding area, try to get close to some predatory animal, there's a chance that the animal will may attacks, and this is also a given reason. And Christine Wilkinson, this is an important person because it will later come in the answer questions. And then they gave some more reason, which is there is another person who's called, I don't know his name and it's hard to produce. So he also gave some reasons that yeah, this happens because human could have react could have avoided the animals. If avoided, human reacted differently. The attacks could have been avoided if they have reacted differently. So and then passes moves on. Then here's a coyote attack. Like there's also this reason. And then they give a reason for climate change, but it's not sustained. And this it's just an idea, again an idea, not fully supported by the author. And then the likelihood, when then the last is the natural setting and the conflicts in the vastly landscapes, which is a rural area where the chances of conflicting human and a carnivore is statistically high. So remember that this statistical about this. So for the first question, uh, according to the passage, what is the significant factor that contributes to habituation of carnivore to human presence? Like what is the thing which is making carnivore animals like used to human presence? So the answer for this was D. I hope that everyone has done this. If someone wanted to try this, I paused the video and tried this. So this was the first. And the next is, and I'm going to explain why, if someone has gotten wrong this answer. Well, the natural exhibited by the carnivores exhibits mean increases by human interference, particularly when they are safeguarding their offspring. This is not the main argument. This is not the significant factor which increases the habituation of carnivore animal, not the main idea. I'm just going to use MI for the short form. Increased scarcity of resources due to climate change. Once you are here, but try to complete the whole option, forcing carnivores to venture outside their natural habitat in search of sustenance. Well, this later part is fine, but this climate change part is not significant factor, which increases. If this part was the only part, then yeah. But this part is later mentioned in part in D without which is later mentioned in D properly. So yeah, BS goes out. And then predatory perception is potential prey, like they view humans as a potential prey. Nowhere mentioned. It's an alien option. It is an alien option, so we can just ignore it. And this the last answer is D. Next is the fellow, like which I was not able to pronounce his name, is research and Christine Wixon's research statement give conclusion between the heterogeneity and human carnivore. Landscape heterogeneity was given in the last paragraph, whereas this says that the chances of human and in carnivore animal conflicts increases statistically. This may happen. And the answer option for this one is again D. Mm, And for the people who didn't got this, uh, low-income countries with vast contagious wildness less prone is a red flag. Red flag. This goes out. Landscape heterogeneity, farmland reduces, not reduces, it increases. Red flag. Human homogeneous landscape with uniform agriculture practice are more likely to experience high rate. Well, the thing is, as I mentioned in my previous life, that this was a this was my option which I selected in my exam, and I didn't saw this high rate because the passage mentions that it's just a statistically high. Means there's a chance that it goes up, but it doesn't necessarily in this. It's not. You can what you can say is something which is concrete, something which is just a statistical. I'm just probability of just probably. So this goes out. The option left is B. Yes, sorry D. And the third question is third question answer is A. Well, this one was a controversial answer. Most of us and our fellow mates who were giving CAT this year were in doubt that this is not the correct answer. Well, because if this was because we gave C, but this the answer was in select, but the answer was A. Well, there was a huge cloud around it, but people say that the climate change, but the cat said that this is the right option, and we chose this. So this one is the controversial answer, I think so, unless I remember correctly. And the last one is uh, which of the following most likely to exhibit, which is increase the carnivore-human conflict. Increase, which is option B. Well, you can see every A, C, and D will decrease, and 1 minute. Sorry, that's not B. That's my mistake. Again, that was a D. I saw the correct wrong question. So yeah, it was D. A, B, and C. You can see that they are just clearly reducing the impact, but D is increasing the impact. So yeah, this was the human carnivore interaction one. Just a minute, guys. I'm just coming back. I don't have water, so I'm just bringing that, and it will take few minutes. Okay. Well, guys, I'm back. I'm back again. Once again, if it's Sunidhi, I think you left the stream first, and I was not able to answer your question. So I'm gonna mention it again that I'm not gonna do the stream daily. It's just a weekly stream. But because I originally intended to do the stream on the Sunday, but because of few errors and I wasn't able to take the permission for the stream, so I'm just doing this stream today. And I did a stream tomorrow, but there were so many problems in that stream, and I was not able to do it properly. So I'm just doing it right now a bit more better. So yeah, we're back, and again, this is my attempt. This was the spice one, and for anyone who wants to do this, I'm gonna show this to you and show this for you a few seconds. You can pause this, try it, and after completing it, resume the video and see the correct answers. And I'm also going to show you the answer is questions as well. I didn't remember to show you the questions previously. So yeah, this is the first stream, and I think this must. I'm gonna show you the last part again. This is the first question because this is the second question. This is the third question, and this is the fourth question. So yeah, anyone who wants to try this can now try it. And for the people who have already tried this, I'm just gonna do a short summary. So this was the Spice Trades RC. I also attempted this, and the whole crux was that the Europeans were mad up they were wanted spices so badly that they were voyages and just to get the spice in a single power. So the whole idea is about the spice. Why did they want the spices? What was the use for the spices for them? And the voyages and perception of the East. They were considered the earthly paradise because of the Spice Kingdom, and India is also the India is called the earthly paradise. And I'm just going to treat us as the whole East, as we were the ones who were considered for the spice trade. So, and later the why were the spices so expensive? And then the last passage which compares the spices and the golds and silver. So this was the whole passage, and let's just begin with the first answer. The answer for the first one was increase the availability of spices. It can be inferred that all of the following contributes to decline in allure of spices, except, well, as mentioned, refrigeration techniques were developed. So it is mentioned. So we can conclude it. So not the answer. Refrigeration is mentioned. Changes in system and medical treatment, this is also mentioned, so this can't be it. And the changes in European cuisine, which is also mentioned, so can't be it. The only option which is right is option B. Anything in the increase of spice availability was not mentioned anywhere. And the next question is, the answer for the next question is option A. The context of this passage, the people who heard the story of pepper tree being guarded by snakes would least likely to arrive at that conclusion. Like the passage where they mentioned why is the spices price so high, and this was mentioned that the pepper grow on tree in India, which is guarded by serpents, which is snakes and poisonous snakes, and if you want to harvest them, you had to burn the tree, and that's why the perception was that why the peppercorn color is black, not any other color. So for this, we can not conclude the pepper was hot, as it's nowhere mentioned in it. That's nowhere mentioned, and we can't arrive on that. You could arrive if you hear that something is guarded by snake and you have to burn the tree. So this could be a reason. So it goes out. See, it's not advisable to go to India to harvest the pepper themselves. So this one is a weird answer, and most of the people would fell for this trap. Well, the thing is, the questions, this option seems so weird, but then the thing is, uh, the perception is that uh, even if you go, like, let's take a probability that someone will go, and someone would not really try to get that pepper themselves, as they know that if it's guarded by the poisonous snakes, then I take the risk. So could this is a weird answer, weird option, but this is also somewhat of, you can arrive on this point. It's no surprise that the pepper supply is so limited. Yes, you can easily arrive on this point that if it's guarded by the snakes, then obviously that the supply would be limited. The next is for the next option, which can't be, the following conclusion can't be reached, which is option B. This is the easy one. You can't arrive on this point. Well, for the later part, spice trade was a driver of colonial expansion. We can say that because in the last passage, it says that Dutch in New Amsterdam, New York was exchanged for Britain for the Moluccan Islands. Dutch was struggling for the control of Spice Island. They wanted to control the Spice Islands. So A goes out. Tobacco was more marketable than spices, yeah. It was more commercialized, as it's mentioned in the last paragraph, that new commercial potential of new, like in tobacco, indigo, and sugars were more commercialized than spices. So C goes out. And the last, Connolly. Colonialism was motivated by demand of spices like that. This can also be reached. They wanted to colonize because of demand of the spices. So this was it, and the next passage is the next question is D. If trade bought white corns from India to Middle Europe, which of the following is most unlikely to happen except something which can happen, but other options will not happen? So this option was option B. If someone were to brought peppercorns from India to medieval Europe, they would doubt the story. Well, we can't arrive on the parts of medieval map for navigation aid. Prices of show spices would decrease, doesn't matter. The pepper would not no longer be considered exotic, doesn't matter. The meaning of exotic is that something which is not grown in your area and is not abundant. Even if Indian trader would were to bring some peppercorns, doesn't mean that it's not considered exotic. Something which he have brought would be considered exotic. But then yeah, something which you can't arrive on is option A, C, and D. So yeah, this was it for the spice one. If you've gotten all right, very good. If you've not gotten, please, if you hope that you were able to get the solution. And the question which I also, which in the next question which I also attempted was this job peer reviewer. So we didn't do this on the previous attempt. So I'm just gonna do this that I'm going to attempt this. You're going to attempt this. Once this is over, we will do this. Uh, see if I can write this. Let me write this part. This. So you can try this as well, and I'll see you in 10 minutes or maybe earlier. So yeah. So we are done with this passage, and I hope so that everyone else has done so into. So I'm going to show you this whole passage. Uh, this is the whole passage, and if you haven't done this, pause this, do this. I'm going to show you the answers, and then just a second, we can continue with this. So 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and this is the last one. And so um, let's go on, and let me open this CAT previous year question, and let's check whether the answers are right or not. So this is something which is hmm, spices, carnivore, and this is job peer review. So here we are, and let's check the answer. For the first one, uh, let's go and just check this. I'm just to open that. So we are done with this, and this was a hard passage, and I picked this up in the cat. Don't know why I picked it up, and let's do this. My answer for the first one, which was 13, was D, and it is correct. The only reason not given in favor of peer review, making peer review public data, tackles the problem selecting appropriately qualified, not the given favor. So A, B, and C can be inferred. So and D can't be inferred. Qualified reviews is not mentioned. So you can just read this if you want, and I have also given a reason. Next one, my answer was D, and it is correct again. It's seen as an opportunity to expand their influence. Again, the part except, which like every other part is mentioned, but something isn't, is the part of influence. Influence was not mentioned. So next one, next one is the this. My answer was C. Again, it was D. I was doubting this one. But then yeah. Let's check this. Why is not this one is not correct? This is not fully endorsed publication of, yeah. Okay, this is not. Should have left this one, but okay. According to the passage, some are opposed to making peer review public, and this my answer option was C, but it is B. Yeah, these were the two last questions which I was really doubting about. So yeah, I think I made the same errors in my attempt as well, and I don't know why, but this questions were a bit more ambiguous and were a bit more hard to, uh, answer. So, uh, what should now the thing, what do I do now is that when I'm in a mock, when I feel a doubt in a question, I just leave it unattempted. So even if I get this wrong, it doesn't matter that much to me. So yeah, I think the problem was then when I was in the exam, when there was a situation of panic. So I wanted to do 18 questions in the cat paper in the cat. I was able to do two RCs very well. The first one I picked up was the carnivore one, and the second I picked up was the spice one. Though those two were quite good selections, but then the thing was that at the time of the paper, I didn't look at that option very clearly. Few of the options were trap choices, and I felt in that questions. So that is the main thing when you are in the exam. As I mentioned, giving a mock, then giving a real exam, why does it make a difference? I gave around 40 mocks in my previous attempt, but then why such a futile error? Like this type of error isn't even expected for someone like who's given around 40 marks, has done around 500 plus hours in the previous attempt. So why did it happen? The simple answer is that it can. Once you are in your exam hall, actually you are in your exam hall an hour earlier. You have to sit in that examination hall for around an hour for the exam to start, and you have to look at that clock ticking, ticking, and ticking. You just bear it and you just wish when this exam will start, and everything is in your hand. Well, you have to sit idle for around hour or so. If you get in too early, maybe 2 hours, because the gates opens around 10:30 or 11, and the exam begins at around 12:30, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it begins at around 12:30, and I arrived at my center, which is my home center, which was my home center. So I arrived around an hour earlier, and there was a crowd, but not that much. I can just easily count it on my hands. It was around five. It was around 20 people in the crowd, and that's not too much. And later on, when I gave that, I didn't repeat this error. But the thing was, that doesn't happens in my home city, so I have to go somewhere else, which is around 100 kilometers away from my hometown, and then it's around 18 kilometers away from the station. So two problems. Uh, so try when you're going into the center, mentioned like which I mentioned earlier. Try to go in around the hour mark. Like if the exam starts at around 12:30 and the gate closes when the gate closes before that around 12 p.m. I think so. Arrive somewhere around 45-minute mark or 40-minute mark. That way, once you enter the exam center, it takes a lot of time for you to reach your examination hall. Usually, when the exam center is big, if there are more than 10 to 12 there are more than 10 labs, then it would take you so much time to just find your lab. Once you find your lab, there is a line outside the lab, and someone would the invigilator is usually would punch you in, take your photo, and assign you the system. Once you get in, the examiner will tell you the your assigned PC is in that row, or that. So once you settle in, just and one more just settle in, and then the pressure builds up. And when you are doing this thing fine, but then when I picked this RC up, I noticed that I was taking too much time, and in the hurry, my thing was I have to do around 12 hours. I'll do 12 questions from RC. I don't know. And I'll do every verbal ability question. And that was my something which really was really stupid thing which I did. I'll do 3 RC, complete RC, and I'll do all the verbal ability questions. And you can see that because of just pressurizing myself to just I have to somehow get 18 attempts, 19 attempts, 20 attempts. In my previous attempt, I was going around 20, 21, 22 attempts, just reading this RCs like this, and just completing it around 2 to 3 minute mark, and just trying, just wasting some kind of just around 1 minute or 1.5 minutes on a per question. And then once you rush in, you your accuracy will fall. Even though that those two sets, which was from one was from the spice one and which one was from carnivore one, those two were sets which, even if you get one set wrong, one question wrong, it doesn't matter that much. Even if you do two sets, but your two sets are correct with around 7 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions of set, and you did around 7 questions right. Even though that one would not affect you that much. And something a question like this, when I was around in question number 13 and 14, I should have stopped there. Once I'm not clear about this question, just leave this one. Okay, my OBS is disconnected. And why is it disconnected? Can you tell me the reason why? Okay, well, yeah. So I don't remember that which were the ability questions, because I knew that I did these RCs, because these are the only there are 4 RCs and I attempted 3. The one left was easily to just distinguish between all the remaining 3. So RCs were the main part, and if I can remember that I did this verbal ability question, then I would definitely go in. Like, yeah, I remember that I did this for parajumble, not parajumble, odd one out. So we can try this and let's see. So 2 minutes time, you can do this. I will do this, and we'll meet after 2 minutes. just check three. Where was one? Yeah, let's just check. I've completed with this one, and I don't know whether I'm sure about this one. My answer is three. The correct answer is four. So yeah, let's just quickly move towards the next thing, next part, which is LRDI. And yeah, well, for the people who don't know that, just a minute, guys. I'm just taking a short break, and I'll just see you in a minute. Welcome back, and I'm back, guys. So, next up is our LRDI discussion. Well, what about it? So, let's just say about this LRDI experience. I'm gonna mark the questions sets which I did in my paper. So, my attempts were this, this, then this one, and yeah, and this one. Then there was about this bubble one. I skipped that, and I think yeah, then it's quants. So I did these set, and the thing was, as you guys, I should tell you that when we were preparing for CAT 2024, there was a whole tantrum and then just a whole, if I can say that, there was just a big show around the 2023 CAT 2023, and people were in fear that what would happen. Like 2023 slot 3 and by CAT 2023 LRDI was one of the toughest, and we were all in a fear that what would happen if the same things repeat in this time also. But the next thing was CAT changed the pattern of LRDI and complete LRDI renovation. First, before 2023, from 19 to 23, it was about five question set. So there were four sets of five question each, and that was something which was manageable. But after but from 2024, they shifted this pattern and they increased two questions, which is from around 20 to 22, and they increased four sets. They introduced four set question and they introduced a five set question. So if you want to get a good range, you have to do around three sets. There was a complete revamp. And the problem was that I started off my set with this monstrosity. And by looking at this, this might look easy. And the thing was, when I was doing this, I was, what I was doing, this looks like a square, like this should be same, and this should be all. And I was just a complete fool to just do this. Uh, the thing is, my cat was a disastrous one once I begin my LRDI, because after that I was in a complete panic. And even though I was able to somewhat handle myself in quants, but then my LRDI was ruined. And even if I were able to, score good in quants, score good in VARC, this was the guy. This is the guy which completely ruined it. LRDI was just the complete mishap for me. So, well, anyways, the thing was, I also tried this, but then I was in so much of a panic that I didn't remember that this is like Sudoku, and I practice Sudoku daily. I had a complete drive. I have a complete drive copy of DILR. I had this complete drive, and this drive had mind builders, and I used to do Sudoku like every other day. And yeah, so sometimes when you panic, even the easiest of the questions would look so hard that once you're out of the exam center, you would say that I am an idiot that I was not able to attend these questions. So, not be a fool like me, and remember, don't panic. Once and please remember that even if the sets look easy, looks difficult, medium, looks hard, the word it's too much wording. Look for the set, read it, and then judge it. Just mark sets which you seems are possible. Spend around 5 minutes on it. Maybe not 5 minutes, just 2 minutes. If you are able to develop most of the crux, then just go for it. If it's a 5 question set, then definitely go for it. Because even if you are, if once you get it, even if it takes 20 minutes of your time or 25 minutes, doesn't matter. There are sets like these, which would take around 10 minutes, and sets like these which would also take which can be done in that hour minute time, and you don't even have to do all the all the three sets. Just 2.5 sets is fine. Just do two and just start another one and attempt two right questions and you are done. And if you want to do this, you can just go and see, like, uh, don't panic. Remember, you're panicking in the exam situation, in the exam environment. You panic is equals to game over. So if you panic, your game is over. That was the story about my LRDI, and this is the main area which ruined my cat. Even if I did well in VARC, I did well in quants, but then somewhere in this area I was just done for. And this is the main problem. So yeah, anyways, for my LRD experience, we can just start off with the set. If we are once we are here, let's try this, and we will solve this together. So I have the pen and I can just change this site, and I can increase the size. Okay, this much is fine. So the numbers 1 to 10 are placed in 10 slots. The following grid-based conditions, and these are the 4 grids. These 10 numbers are to be fit in these 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 10 grids. So number in any row appears increasing from left to right. So it have to be in an increasing order from left to right. So ascending order. Rows have to be ascending order. And or you can say it have to be an AP. Number and column appearing decreasing order, so the column should be descending order. We will just say DO. And let's start with the main clue. These are the clues which are helpful, but don't these provide some help in solving the question. These are direct and irrelevant clues. So first, let's go on with third. We are done with these two clues. First is placed either in the same row or in the same column as 10. So 1 can't be here. So I can say 1 can't be here. 110, 110, and 110. neither 2 nor 3 are placed in the same row or column as 10. So 2 and 3. Next condition was that 2 and 3 can't be in the same row or column as 10. So this is a clue which can help us determine, but let's just continue. Then 7, not 7, nor 8 placed in the same row as 9. So we have again a condition 7 and 8 together with 9, not possible. And last clue, 4 and 6 are to be placed in the same row. So 4 and 6 could be placed anywhere, here, 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 and here. So let's just start. 1 and 10 have to be in the same row and the same column. 1 can't be here. 1 and 10 are, if 1 and 10 are here. If 1 and 10 are here, 1, so 2 and 3 can be in the same area. So if it's 10, then 2 and 3 can't be here. And 2 and 3 can be here, and 2 and 3 can be here. So, and the second is 7 and 8 are not together with 9. So next is 4 and 6 are to be placed in the same row. The same rows are these 4s, 2 and 4. We can't place it here. We can place it here. We can't place 4 and 6 here in row 4. So we are cleared with this. We cleared this part. And then next is if 4 and 6 is not here, 4 6 4 6 4 6 4 6 4 6 4 6. 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3 and 10. So let's talk about 10. So 1 and 10 could be here. But if 10 is here, 2 or 3 can't be here. If 1 and 10 is here, 2 and 3 can't be here in this next. And let's just do one thing. Let's just place 4 and 6 here because we can easily place it. And 1 and 10 here for ease. We don't have any conditions for 2 and 3 have to be together. So 10 is here and 3 can't be here. So we can do this that 1 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 could be anywhere, and then the next is 9. So if I place 9 here, the problem, and then the problems arrive that if I were to place 9 here, 7 8 8 7, someone would can collide. So let's just try, and I have a open position, so let's just keep it here 7 and 8, and then we are done with all these clues. So, and we are left with 3 positions, and there is a condition that that 1 and 10 are in the same row or in the same column, so they are in the same row, and we are left with, we are done with 1 4, we are done with 1 4 6 7 8 9. We are left with 2 3 and 5. We don't have any condition for 5, so we can just place it here. 2 or 3 can go anywhere else and can go anywhere. This is not a problem. So let's just stick with the conditions. Um, and as we can see that we forget about an important clue. ascending to descending order. So we have to go from ascending to descending, and this doesn't match. So we have to remove this, and because this is not possible, because we have to go from descending, here's the descending order and here's the ascending order. And if I were to place a 10 here, then this clause will go away. And now I have an important clue that rows are to be in an ascending order and columns are to be in a descending order. So either I have to place 10 or a 9 here. So my condition is that I have to start with 1 and 10 are to be in the same column in the same row. So if I were to go this, and I can place 1 here or I can place 1 here. And if 9's here, then 7 or 8 can't be here. So let's just see. The next possible number is that if it's 10 or 9, so here can't be, if it's 10, then it can't be this. If it's 9, then it can't be 7 or 8. So we have two possibilities, either it could be 2, 3 or it could be 7 or 8. Next is 4 and 6 have to be together, and we know that the only possibility where I can get this is 4 and 6 is that because I can't place it here because of the condition of 10 and 9. So I have to remember that this doesn't go in a ascending or a descending order, and we are it's the ascending order one is the ascending order clue is here satisfied here. So we are all good with this, and we have to look descending. So it is either 10 or 9, or it is either 10 or 9. So it's decreasing order. So I think it's 10 here and 9 there. So we are done with yet another clue. That's this descending, and we have to keep something big here and something big here. So if it's 10 here and I can't keep 2 or 3, then it is simple. And then we have arrived at the problem. There's again a problem. We have arrived at a juncture which is not measuring. So again, let's just keep a few things ready. Like I know that this is 10 and this is 1, and this could also be 1. But let's just say that this is not possible, and I think I should remove this one. So 10, and I know 10 and 9 have to be in the last row in order to be complete, and 1 have to be in this row because even if it's the lowest, the ascending order rule will not be void. So I know this is 10, 9, and 7 and 8 could not be together. So then I can just put 4 and 6 here, and it would not be a problem. Like if I were to put 4 and 6 here, let's just put 4 and 6 here, and this is not a problem. Then we come back towards what's not possible here. I know that 7 and 8 is not possible here, so we'll put 7 and 8 here, and we can put 5 here. We are done with 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're all done with this. So Okay, so this is not possible. So let's just remove this again, and 10 1 is correct here. Let's try something else. So 4 and 6 can't be here, and 1 and 10 can't be here. So if yeah, 1 can be here if it's a row possibility, but then 1 could also be here, 1 could also be here. If I were to put 1 here for a change, I can put 4 and 6 here without any problem. If I were to put 9 here, I can put 8 and 7 here. But then this is not possible. There's 9 because of the 9 and 6. So the 6 can't be here. Next up is then the thing is I can put 9. If I put 9 here, if I put 5 here, and next thing is that if I can just put I can just move this up a bit by a bit because it's not creating a problem. So then I can just create 8 8 and 7, and as I can't put 2 and 3 together, so 4 and 6 would go here. We are left with 3 and 2, and 2 and 3 could go anywhere, and but 2 and 3 can't be together. Okay, we're close. Four and six. This condition is true. You can't be here. 8, 7, and 5. And here's another problem. We can't do this. And let's just move this 4 and 6 from 4 and 6 from here, and just put 7, 7 and 8 here, 9 here, and so I think we have arrived at a solution. Let's check the order. So 1 and 10 are in the same row, and 7 and 8 are not together in the same row or column as 9. 2 and 3 are not together in the same row or column as 10. Uh, the row is following the ascending order. The column is following the descending order. It's not. Oh, fuck this one. Oh, just a small error. Okay. Close one, but yeah, close. Um, close. Change the positions of these two areas. Just these two. And just place it 4, 6. So 10 is fixed here, and last digit would be 4, 6, 4, 6, 5, then 7, 8 would be a possibility. But we can't put it together with the 9. So 7, and even if I put 7, even if I put 7 here, it wouldn't create a problem. 8 here wouldn't create a problem. No, this would not work. Uh, 1, 6, 5. I think I've arrived at it after just so much time. So yeah, well, let's just check the proofs and clues whether the answer is correct. So is it in ascending order? 4, 6, 9, 10. It is in the ascending order. Is it in descending order? It doesn't matter. 6, 2 descending. 5, 9, 3 descending. 10, 8, 7, 6, 7, 1 repeat descending. So this is descending. 10 and 1 are in the same column. Or same row and same column. Can't be in the same row. They are in the same column. 4 and 6 are in the same row. They are in the same row. 9 is not together with 7 or 8. It's not together with 7 or 8. 10 is not together with 2 or 3. It's not together with 2 or 3. So for the first answer of so we are in the DILR set. The first question is, what is the row which has the least sum of number placed in that cell? Least sum of number, which we are asking what the row with the least sum. Least sum with is 4 with the least sum 1. So the answer is 4. It's correct. And let's just move on to the next one. Which of the following statement must be true? 10 is placed in a slot in row 1. Yes, it is. It's true. 1 is placed in slot 4. Yes, it's again it's true. So both the options are right and both 1 and 2 correct. To the next one, which of the following then again must be true? Must be true question, which is again then 2 is placed in column 2. 2 is placed in column 2. Yes, it is placed in 3 is placed in column 3. 3 is placed in column 3. Yes, and again it's true. Uh, must be true. Well, this should be possible, right? Oh, yeah, I can. No, I can't. Yeah, I can move the slots. Yeah, sorry, that was a silly mistake. Then check that. So, what is the sum of the column 4? 10, 18, 25, 26, which is just 26. Answer is correct. So, yeah. Well, there's not much time left for this now, so I'm just going to review the one section just as it is. So, yeah. Well, about the quant section of CAT 24 slot 2. How was it? To be honest, easy. Well, most of the questions which were asked in slot 2 of quants, 2 were repeated, and most of the questions were kind of easy. And if you had, if you were quick to pick up the question, you can just have easily picked up that this is a easy set, and it's an easy slot. It's somewhere like people were saying that the slot 1 and slot 3 questions cons was a bit easier. I can say that yeah, it's kind of a true, but it's not that hard. But compared to the all three sets, yeah, it was kind of a difficult one, as it was a bit more focused on it was a bit more distributed and a bit more data answers. So because of that, you can't just if when we are given too much data, the problem is you can't guess the answer. Even if you are in, even if you're doing a question, you see a correct option, you might pick it up. But then if it's a data, you can just hope that the answer you have picked is correct, or you're completely sure the answer is correct. So the problem was with this that the most of the questions were theta. So like this one, like starting off with the first one, like this is theta 2, second theta, third theta 4, and then coming back to like fifth, and then six, seven, eight. Like eight were alone data questions, and data questions are hard to guess. You have to get a solid answer. And if uh, if you see the set might look hard, but it's kind of not that hard. But once you are in a complete panic, you can't find simple answers. Well, my attempt was uh, okayish. I attempted good number of questions, but then yeah, could have done better. But then fonts was not something which was one of my strong suits. So yeah, but yeah, well, the live session is around. Let's see, 2.5. Like it's around 3 hours. So yeah, I started the session around 11:45, 12:45. Yeah, 2 hours is fine. And yeah, well, this was it. And yeah, it took a bit time, but let's just sum up for anyone who's not who just to complete this in a short summary. Like, what was my experience like? So, just a minute. So yeah, thanks for watching this live stream. Um, uh, I didn't get that much viewers, even though I just had a few viewers of this live stream. But anyways, let's just leave this point aside. And anyone who just watched this video, thank you so much for watching. And for the short summary of this, what was my experience like in the CAT center? See, CAT is not a difficult exam. I'm gonna say it 1,000 times. You have to find the right answers, right questions. You have to pick up. Uh, just remember this: when you are in the exam, you can't rely on any one thing. You have to be ready for any question, any answer the CAT gives you. And remember, even if you were to pick a wrong set, you picked the wrong set. Please do not panic. Please do not panic. Um, because panic is the main problem when you are in the exam situation. Once you panic, and that's pretty much game over for you. The game is about composure. You have to maintain it throughout the exam. You want to get into your dream school, just remember this. There would be so many problems, and you would be cracked in some areas. You would feel the pressure. You would crack. You would crack a little bit. If you don't crack a little bit, I mean, you're a god. And like, let's just accept this fact that some people will be there who would be like god level. Like, these people are like, oh. But then remember, if you were to start comparing yourself, just be yourself. Don't look towards them and how they are doing and how much good score they are getting, how much good score I'm getting, someone else is getting. And just remember that you have to focus on yourself. And this is just a preparation phase. The marks score here doesn't matter. I was scoring around 70s, 80s, 60s. I don't, God knows what, how much I was scoring in my mocks. But was I able to reciprocate in the CAT? No, I was not able. If I were expecting 60s or 70s, I was expecting that there should be around 20 to 20% increment in the score because the mocks are harder. But then it was the opposite fact that it didn't increase, it decreased. So just remember, if you're getting a good score, that don't this is just your marks. Don't be overconfident. That be just be good, just be thankful that you are getting the score and just prepare and just analyze. Well, yeah, this was it for my experience, personal experience. Well, um, this was it for this week. I'm not gonna continue. I'm not gonna do a live session, another live session tomorrow. This was it for me, and I'm just, have to just do this because I was not able to conduct the live session tomorrow properly. Because of that, yeah, it's it's just a correction. It's just a recap and just some a new live session which is less with errors. And I'm happy that there were no lags and not much problems in with my webcam. And I was able to use the streaming software a bit more better. So yeah, well, that's pretty much it for this video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this live stream. And I'll see you in the next reel, in the next one. So that's